Hi Sri.
Hi.
Let me share my screen. You able to see my screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yesterday we have discussed on the SAP HANA Studio. You're able to start the recording, Sri, or you want me to
Um,
start?
I will do the recording. At the same time, I would also want Venkat to do the same and send me the recording,
Okay.
just in case. Venkat, please send the recording like every day, but I will keep it as an option for myself. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Please don't stop sending me the recordings. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Uh, Here we have added the system into the HANA Studio, and how to add the system we have seen by providing this host name and instances and the user credentials of the HANA. By using of all these components, we can able to add the system in HANA navigation area of the HANA Studio. Okay. Once we add the system, okay, uh, we have observed like different folders within that system, right? Like this. I have added the system and I have observed different folders within the added system. Okay. This is the provisioning and security. Okay. We have folders like main folders like catalog, content, security, and provisioning. Okay. What are all these purposes? So who can use these folders? Okay. We will discuss on this one. Now, once we add the system, we are able to see catalog folder, content folder, provisioning, and security. Okay. Now, if you observe the as per our experience, we came across with the different databases, right? In our working experiences. In normal databases also, we have the schemas to store the data. The schema will contain the different kinds of tables, okay, which is related to the same database. Okay. Within the schema, we can able to put these tables, and within these tables, we can able to save our data. Like the traditional databases, HANA is having the concept of schema, database schema. Within this database schema, we too have the different kinds of components, different kinds of objects like tables, views, procedures, and all these things. Actually, the physical storage of this data will happen at the tables only within the HANA. Okay. The physical tables, the physical data will be stored in the tables. The tables would be there in the schema area. Okay. Here, let me open this catalog once. The catalog contains the mainly schemas. Okay. Let us open this one of the
Can you
schema.
maximize the screen?
This is in full mode. Are you able to see now?
It's
Okay.
uh,
Here, the catalog contains the schemas. All these are all the schemas. As this is the training system, we too see a lot of schemas in this one. Okay. From here, let us take one of the schema. Um, okay. Okay.
So I have
This
a
catalog.
question for you, Suresh. Um, let's say this is the new system and we just installed it, nothing, no one touched it. And
Yes.
when you create the system, is there anything that comes as a default? Any
Yes.
schemas? Yeah. Can you tell me which came by default?
Yes. Yes. We'll explain that one. But
Okay.
we are we are in the starting stage. Let me explain all these things. We will take the questions parts later. Okay. Once I complete this schema part or once I complete the catalog part, you can post your questions. Okay. Is that okay, Sri?
Like end of the class or?
Once I complete this catalog, once I said like I'm done with this catalog, then you can post your questions. But whatever you asking your questions, all these are the this curriculum. Okay, because you by curiosity you are asking your questions, and I could understand that one. Uh, but that will be covered in the what is this curriculum. Okay. Okay. What we are talking about this we are talking about this catalog, right? The catalog contains the schemas. Okay. The schemas will as this is the training system, we can able to see the different schemas. Okay. But if the system is very new, okay, we don't have any schemas. Okay, we don't have any user specific schemas. Within the catalog, we do have the user user specific schemas and the technical schemas. Okay, the technical schemas are the default schemas. What you said, what you have asked, right? The technical schemas are the uh, default schemas. Those will be created at the time of the installation of the server. Okay. From these technical schemas, let me take one or two schemas and let me explain what is its purpose. Okay. Here, let us take this schemas. Underscore sys. Okay. The schemas with the underscore sys, these are all the technical default schemas. Okay. These will hold the structures like the normal user schemas. Let me open one of the schema. Okay. If you open the schema contains the different folders again. One is the column views, EPM models, EPM core resources, functions, indexes, procedures, sequences, synonyms, tables, and triggers use. Among all these, as we are the modelers, these are all the important schemas for me. Okay. The column use, procedures, tables, these are all the daily usage schemas, schema objects for me. Okay. If you take this sys underscore big schema, this is the very important schema for each and every user for each and every project. Okay. This sys underscore big schema actual purpose is to maintain the runtime objects of the HANA database. Okay. It will maintain the runtime objects. That means it may contain the tables, it may contain the column views. Okay. These are all the column views. All these are all called as the runtime objects. Okay. When these objects will be stored here and why we call these as the runtime objects, we will discuss slowly. Okay. When you take the schema contains the column views, EPM models, the column views like within the column views folder, uh, the replica of the U, for example, in HANA model, we start our modeling and created one U. Okay. On top of some one or two tables or one single table. This U's replica will be stored in this sys_big schema under the column U's. Okay. And EPM models and the EPM co-resources, these two are all the related to BPC content. Okay. If you're working with this BPC systems, those models will be placed here. These are all the out of scope for us. And also we have the functions also there. If we have any database level functions, we can see all these functions within this one. Sri, you know this database concepts, right? I hope you already know all these database concepts. Within the database concepts, we have seen like functions, procedures, all these things, right? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah. You came across with this database concepts, right? In your experience.
yes.
Within the database, we can able to create the functions, indexes, and procedures, all these things. Okay. Whatever all the operations we want to perform on the database, all these operations and all these functions will be held within this schema. Okay. For traditional databases, for HANA also we to perform the database kind of operations. Okay. Like these functions, we can able to write the functions on the database. We can able to write the procedures on the database to perform some sequence of operations and the synonyms, sequences, and also we can able to create tables within the database. Okay. And we can able to create triggers within the database. All the database related operations and functions will be there in the schema. The schemas will be there in the catalog folder. Okay. As we discussed, like we have two kinds of schemas. One is the technical schema, another one is the user based schema. Okay. For example, I want to work on the one particular schema. Okay. In that schema, I would like to add my tables, and I would like to save the data within the schema tables. In that case, what I can do is I can create one schema within the database. If I create the schema, the user based schema, the schema would be like this. Okay. Uh, Let me take one example, like, yeah, the schema would be like this. Okay. I have created one of the schema like sales order. The creation of the schema is also the SQL based. Uh, in SQL also we can able to create the tables, schemas, and all these things. The creation of the schema is the SQL based. Okay, like this. How to here we are talking about this technical schemas and user based schemas. How to create the schema uh, within the HANA database? That is through the SQL based. Here you can see this under the catalog. We can able to see, and on top of this, or else if you select this one, you can able to see the SQL console here. Okay. See, with the help of this SQL console, I can able to create the schemas like create schema. What I can do, demo underscore 3. Okay, demo underscore I have created one sample schema. Let me see how can I able to see this one. Okay, this is the schema. If when I create the schema, by default it holds all the folders. Based on my operations, the folders will be filled. Okay, we will discuss all these things one by one. Okay.
Can you give an overview of those folders as a quick thing? What does EPM stand for?
EPM stand for it is a BPC concept actually. Business processing and consolidation is there, right? Enterprise performance management. EPM means enterprise performance management. All the what is called this BPC objects. If you're running the BPC system on top of the HANA database, all the BPC related objects will be placed in this schema, EPM model schema and the EPM query sources schema. Okay, and as I have my database, okay, in my database I too have the different tables, okay, different default tables. If I want to work on those tables with the functions, I can able to write the functions within this function folder. Okay, if I
I mean,
write
uh, what I was asking is all these, how many folders we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, can you explain all the folders in brief, like column views, what is column views, functions, indexes, sequences on a high level?
yes. Here the column use, the purpose of the column use is to save the replica of the normal views. In HANA also, on top of the tables, we can able to create the views. In modeling part, we would do, perform all this use creation. If I create one particular view, okay, for related to the schema, which is related to the schema table, the replica of a view will be stored in the column views. Okay, like this. For example, where is the schema?
So why you say replica?
That is runtime actually. Okay, here.
Because views don't have any storage, it's like a runtime thing, that's why.
Yes, it is a runtime thing. But use, we can able to create the use at a design time at the modeling part. Okay, at design time we can able to create the use and validate the particular view. That means we can compile the view and we can execute the view. That means we can activate the view. Whenever we can able to activate that particular view, the runtime object will be created for that view and we place it here in the schema. Okay, column use, under this column use. Okay, this column use folder will hold the runtime objects particular use. Okay, for example, if you take the uh, employee underscore AA and Y, this is the one of the view within the modeling perspective. Okay, once this particular view is activated at the modeling perspective, the runtime object he created here itself. Okay,
What is 001 KUNA command view?
this one.
Yeah.
This one is the package name under the modeler perspective. Okay, here one particular person having the package like 001 KUNA Kunal new. Someone has created the package name as the Kunal new. Under this Kunal new, he has created one of the HANA artifact. Okay, so what are all the if we create this HANA artifact, Once he create this analytical U or calculation U, once he activate that one, he can be able to see the runtime object of particular U in this column use folder. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, that is the purpose of the column use. And the EPM models, if you are dealing with the BPC model kind of things, we can able to see all the models and all the query sources of that particular BPC system. Okay. If that BPC system running on this on top of the HANA database.
Are we covering
And
EPM?
no, we are not covering that one. We don't
So
have any.
I have one more question. You said the replica is stored in column views. Uh, when and how we will use the replica? I mean, you said the
Mhm.
replica is stored. What we will do with that?
With that, if you, for example, I I have created one IP, okay, info package within the BW system, okay.
Okay.
At design time, what is the status of that particular IP?
It's either modified or updated.
Okay. Once I activated that one, I can able to see the activated version of that IP. Okay.
Yeah, actually delivered version and then active version.
Yes. Once I have this active version only, I can able to use that IP for my running purpose. Okay. Either I can use this IP within the uh, process chain, or else I can able to use that IP individually to perform the manual loading, right? So
Yeah.
that means the active version can be used for some other purpose. Like that, here also, if I create the U, the active version of the U is called the column U, okay, within the schema. Once I have that active version of the U, I can able to run that U and I can able to perform some analysis on top of that U. And also, I can able to expose that U into the external world like BO system. From BO system also I can able to access that U to create the universes or to uh, run that U from the BO system also. Okay, that means
Okay.
to use that particular U, I should have the runtime version of that particular U. Okay, then only I can able to use this U for my analysis purpose and to expose into the BO system and all these things. Okay, and uh, and we have functions. Okay, the functions are like as like our if you I uh, yeah, if you come across these functions actually in normal programming languages also we can able to see these functions. The functions are used to call the same call the same coding based on the different situations. Okay, by passing the variables or by passing the placeholders like this. Okay, the reusable coding will be right in the functions. Whenever I require, I can able to call these functions without writing the same code within the system. Okay, like this in database concepts also we do have the functions. The functions are the reusable kind of coding. Okay, uh, whenever I required some normal regular operations, I can place that regular operation within one functions. I can name it as the function 1 or function 2 like this. Whenever I required, I can able to call that function directly without writing the same code again and again. Okay, as like our programming languages, here also in databases, the function concept is the same. Okay, and we have the indexes. The indexes are the very important to concept in the databases. That oh, what happened?
Is it restarting, logging off?
Oh, somebody stop that. Okay. Okay. One, two, three. Some problem with this one. Able to
With the HANA Studio?
in remote desktop. Something happened for the remote desktop. Venkat? Hello, Venkat?
Yeah, Fahim. Sorry, Crystal.
Venkat, please check with this server team. Something network problem is there at our remote desktop.
I already checked it. It's working out. It will take.
Pardon?
I just now called server team.
Okay.
While you are opening now, I already called to him. He's
Okay.
responding.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Okay. And meanwhile, we'll continue with this screenshot.
So what did I say?
No, no, he's checking with this server team. Okay. He
Okay.
able to see the screen? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we have one more concept like indexes. The indexes are the important concepts in the any kind of database. Like other databases, we do have the indexes to maintain the sequence numbers. Like for example, if I want to put one index for the table, I can able to make that one particular attribute or one particular column as the index. Okay. In that case also, we can apply the table indexes with the help of the one of the column, make the one of the column as the index for this table. Okay. These are all the deeper database concepts actually. Okay. Uh, as a modelers, we don't want to use these indexes, but we can understand the concept like what is the indexes folder and what it contains actually, and the indexes comes into the picture whenever we maintain the indexes on the particular table. We can make the one of the column as the index for the table, and the loading and reading will happen is based on the index. Like our DSOs, in DSOs also we can able to see the indexes, right, at a database level.
Yes.
The same concept here also. The DB team will create the index and maintain the one of the attribute or one of the measure dimension as the index for this DSO. Like this also, here also we have the same kind of concept, but here in HANA database, the indexes are the minimal. Okay, as this is the very high performance database, we don't want to go for this indexes. Okay, but as this is the database concept, they have provided the indexes.
What are
And
the kind of indexes we have here?
here we don't have any kind of secondary indexes, primary indexes kind of thing, but we have only indexes for the we can call this as the normally one primary index for each every table. Okay.
And as a developer creates the indexes.
No, developer will not create the indexes.
So who will create it?
This is the administrator concepts. Okay.
Sorry?
The indexes administrators, database administrators will create the indexes on top
Okay.
of the table. Okay.
It's not
And
like in the select statement we write index, no?
yeah, we can write the index statement, but all these operations will perform with the help of the DB. Why? Because they only can analyze the tables data and its performance. Okay. Whenever we require any indexes, we can also write, as this is the training system, but this activity is dedicated for the DB administrators only in real time.
Okay.
Okay. And as developer, we can concentrate on this column use, procedures, tables, okay, and remaining all the very high level DB concepts. Okay, let us discuss this one. Once done with this index, we can able to see the procedures. In procedures also, with the use of this procedure, we can write the sequence of tables. Okay, if you want to perform sequence of tables on the tables, and one table's data should be uh, input for the another table like that. If we have the sequence of coding to perform the operations, then we can go ahead with these procedures. Okay, it is like a normal like a functions kind of activity, but these procedures having the sequence of operations on particular tables with the help of the SQL queries. Okay, here also the procedures we can create through the SQLs. Okay.
I
Uh,
didn't understand the procedures concept, Suresh. Sorry, can you
okay.
give an example while you are
Yeah.
explaining this
Okay.
procedure thing? I'm
Pro-
sorry.
yeah. Procedures is also like a kind of functions. That means it is also having the, if we have the reusable code, okay, we can create the procedure. The procedure is having the sequence of statements like uh, sequence of statements like uh, for example, I have one table, okay, let me, procedure having the having sequence of statements. Okay, sequence of statements means the statements will be executed one by one.
Okay.
Okay, like for example, I have one table. Let us take the requirement like that. Okay, at table line number one, I can able to read this table through the select query. Okay, and once I got this select query, that means I can able to access this select query within the one result set, right? That means if I run this select query, I can get the number of rows from that table. Okay, I can place that rows within the one variable. Okay, later I can use this variable for another. I can use this variable one and do the some calculations based on my requirement. Okay, later I can able to use this var1, var2, this as the result. It's based on the requirement. My requirement is like I want to read one particular table, and from the table I want to get the result set of the select query, and once I get that result set, I want to perform some calculations on the couple of columns on that particular result set. Okay. Once I perform the calculations, I want to fetch that result into the variable 2, and I want to show the result as the variable 2 in my output. Okay. This is one kind of sequence of steps within my requirement. These sequence of steps I can write through the procedures. Okay. At the database level with the help of the procedure syntax and with the help of the SQL queries. Okay.
It's like a program.
Yes, it's like a program, sequence of steps program. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. Here
Then
we
what is
have the
sequence here?
sequence. It's based on our requirement. If we have any requirement, like the sequence means, so you mean to say the procedure sequence? Sorry.
When you said procedure, it says you said sequence of steps.
Yes.
So I thought there is a relation between that sequence folder and the procedure folder.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
That's where I got
sequences.
confused.
No. That the procedure will contain the coding. Okay. The
Okay,
code will be executed in sequence order within the
okay,
procedure, one by
okay.
one. Are, if you memorize that C programming in initial days of our trainings, the C
Yeah.
programming will have the compiler, okay,
Hmm.
and the compiler and one more thing is interpreter,
I
right?
don't remember.
Okay. Here the compiler and interpreters are there, but the interpreter will execute the sequence of steps one by one. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Once first step is completed, then only the second step will be executed. Once the second step will be completed, the third step will execute. Like this only. Also, we have the coding within the procedure. It will execute one by one, line by line, within the sequence. What kind of sequence we have mentioned there? In the same sequence, it will execute the code and give the final output as per our requirement. Okay.
I got totally confused. Procedure, you said there is sequence of steps.
Yes.
Itself is a sequence of steps. And the
Yes.
sequence, I didn't understand sequence, anything.
No. Here
So
we
went
are,
to C language and came back. So
yeah. Sequence of steps means, let me
is
open
there
this.
any relation between the procedure folder and sequence folder
No,
in
no,
here?
no, no.
Okay.
Here my coding is like this.
Yeah, I
At line
understood
1,
this part. Yeah.
yeah, at line 1, I write this one statement. The line 2, I write the second statement. Line 3, I write the third statement. If I start to executing this procedure, it will maintain the what I have write this. Uh, the sequence it will maintain at the time of execution. Okay. First it
Okay.
will execute this statement, and then only it will execute this statement, then only it will come under this line 3. I'm talking about this coding sequence here. This is not related to that folder sequence.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, this is sequence and synonyms, so we will discuss later. I need to get to some example on this both the folders. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Let us continue with these tables. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, the schema is also having the tables. Okay. The tables will hold the actual physical data of the project or the schema.
What?
Within the
Can you
tables
repeat
on,
table thing again?
uh, second, let me maximize this one. Okay. The schema here, under the schema, we have one component like the table. Actually, the tables will hold the physical data. Okay. That means we can able to create the tables within the tables folder. Okay. Through the SQL, and we can able to load the table through the any kind of replication methods. Whenever I have loaded this table, that means we put some data within the table. That means the physical data is maintained within the table within the SAP HANA. Okay. Nowhere the physical data will be placed. Only the place to place the data physically is the table within the HANA. Okay. The actual data stored in the tables. The tables we can create from this table folder through the SQLs also.
Okay.
Okay. Let me try to open this one. 2, 3.
So tomorrow we will discuss that sequence and synonym concept, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Tomorrow we will discuss.
Okay.
Preparing desktop. Okay.
So it's working, the remote desktop thing?
Yes, yes, it's working, but taking some time. Yes, open. Uh, okay. You came across this database concepts, right, Sri? I think Oracle, you wrote a couple of statements within the using with the SQL statements.
I mean, whatever we write in all the transformations and all, yeah, those things.
Okay. Uh, yes. With the help of SQL console, have you worked any kind of SQL statements? Like
Whatever related to BW, those select statements, that's the only limited knowledge I have. And the basic Oracle and all, like, I forgot. I
okay,
have some
okay.
idea, but I forgot.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I will.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
these are the high level console, we can. Okay. The table concept. This is the purpose of the tables. Okay. And we have the triggers folder also there. Okay. The triggers folder will hold the triggers, like we can write the triggers on the one particular database table. For example, I have table 1. Okay. If I do any operations on the table 1, the table 2 should be react for that operation. Okay.
What? If we do one thing on
Yes.
table 1, the table 2
Yes.
will.
The table 2 will be respond for that table 1 operation. For example, in integrated system, I have sales and distribution functionalities there, and also I have this financial system is there. Okay. If I perform the billing operations in the sales and distribution, that means I can able to place the invoice amount, and when I pay the sum, when I got the some payment at the sales and distribution level kind of department, if I enter that amount at the sales and distribution system, the same amount should be reflect into the finance system also. Okay.
Okay.
Here the insertion and posting of this sales and distribution system amount is the trigger for the placing the same amount in the finance system. If I do something, if I perform some operations on particular table, in some cases, the particular table's input should be interact with the another table. Okay. In that such kind of cases, we can go ahead with these triggers. Okay. That means interaction between the different tables based on the operations what we are perform on the particular one table.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And use are the normal use as like here in database we can able to create the tables, right? The tables will hold the actual data physically. Likewise, in database itself we can write the views. The views will have the logical database. Okay. The view will have the logical data of that particular table. That means it is also the replica of the table. That the view is the replica of the table if you create the one particular view on top of the table like this. Let me show.
So what is the difference between the view and column view? Because
The
even
view,
column view has the replica of
yes,
the view.
that is yeah, that is very good question, Sri. Actually, the view is the complete database concept. Okay, here the view we can create on top of the table only, just like our sorry, one second, sorry.
Bless you.
Yeah. The view is like a normal database concept. We can write the view within the what is called database only. Okay, but when it comes to the column view, the column view we can create at the level of modeler perspective. That means at the design time, we can write the we can create the view. Once I create that particular view, the replica of and runtime of the view will be placed in the column views. But the normal view I can able to create within the database only like this. Let me show once.
We have issues with the.
Yes, here this is the workspace we have
Yeah, this
discussed,
is
right?
what I got initially when I logged in
Yes,
the first time. This is
yes,
the one.
yes. Here we have problem with the workspace.
What is it
HDB
saying
Studio.
when you say okay?
SAP HANA Studio stores your project in folder called the workspace. Okay. Here we are able to open. Someone has fixed that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. When you say that the default is currently in use, you can choose another, create another
Workspace also.
workspace. That's what I
Yes.
did earlier.
Okay. Let me open this one. Welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All the passwords are welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Very simple passwords. Here, there. Okay. Let me open my favorite folder. Schema. Yes. Here, this use are the complete and very dedicatedly the database concept view. That means we can create this particular views within the DB level only. Okay. The creation, that means the design time should be happen at the database level through the SQL statements when we want to create the view on top of any particular table. when it comes
What
to
is
this.
database level? When you say database level, I'm confused. What is
Yeah,
database level?
database level means how we can interact with the database. What is the
Because this
what
is
is
in
called
memory, right? The whole HANA concept is in memory.
in memory.
So yeah.
In memory is the database for HANA. Okay, that is
Oh,
also the database, right? In memory is also database. How we can interact with the database in normal traditional databases or any database, we can interact with the database through the sequence
SQL
of statements.
statement.
Yes,
Yes.
sequence of statements. So when you want to interact with the database, I should write the SQL statements. This use I can able to create with the SQL statements only.
Okay.
Okay. And when it comes to the column use, these use I can able to create at the level of modeler perspective from here. If I create any view like this, for example, if I take the analytical view, if I create this analytical view and activate this analytical view, the replica of this and the runtime object of this analytical view will be there in the column views. Okay.
Okay. I have another question now. So I'm assuming, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm assuming when you say view, normal view, we have it's nothing but a runtime structure of the table, which is like
Yes, yes,
rows by columns, right?
yes, yes.
But
Logical
when you
structure.
say column view, we are doing using the attribute views when analytical views, so it is not a row by column, it's a columnar storage. So that's the difference.
Yes, yes. That is the columnar different. That should be a columnar storage. The column view should be in the columnar storage only. Okay.
So when you create attribute views, analytical views, is the source is a table or a view also? Can we create on view another
Yes,
analytical view
yes,
on
yes,
top of a view?
yes. We can
Because
create.
view is a runtime thing, right? How can we use that
But,
as a source?
yeah, but for every view, the base is the table, right?
Yeah.
For example, I have this view. Okay. In this view, my lower level is the table. Okay? I can able to create this view on top of the table. Once I create this view, I can make this view as the input for the second view. From that also, the same view will called, this view will be called internally, but at the end it will call the table only in cascading mode.
Okay.
Okay. The final destination for every view is the table to
Okay.
get the data. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Uh, yeah, thanks. We will stop here with this respect to the catalog folder. Tomorrow we'll start with this uh, administrator perspective and then move to the content folder and then the modeler's perspective. Then only we can get the complete understanding what is the purpose of these folders. When can I
Okay.
go
And
for these
also we're
folders?
gonna cover those synonym sequence thing.
Yes, yes, yes. We'll take the
Okay.
example and we'll cover those
And
things.
end of the course, can you give a high level on EPM concept as well?
EPM concept, yeah, I can give, but
I
not in
mean,
depth.
if you have, I mean, whatever you know at the end of the course when we have some
Yeah, yeah,
time.
sure, sure, sure,
And
definitely.
and this container concept also you're gonna cover in the course, right?
Yeah, this one, the container, where is the content or the
No, no,
content,
no,
right?
no, not this one. When we are creating the system, I asked you a question. What is multiple container and single
Oh, okay,
container? You
okay.
said.
Yeah, we'll discuss this point at the time of architecture discussion.
Okay. Thank you Tomorrow what time is it?
7 a.m. That's your 9:30, I think so.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sri. Have a nice, good night.
Have a good day to you.
Yeah, thank you.